a little bit more on some other things. He's going to share that with us tonight, and I appreciate him doing that. And I want you to listen as he shares this with us tonight. I believe God's got something in store for him, got work for him to do, and we want to try to see what we can do in helping out with that. But we're honored that he's here tonight to be able to present this to us. Preacher, I'm going to let you take it. We'll get you a microphone too. Talk to him. Also go through that.
Thank you very much. About so about maybe this black family arrived in this house, and everybody would say, "What's happening?" We came in signs and wonders. So could you dim this one? Thank you. So we came in signs and wonders. We also wondered, what are we doing here? But God has a way. So I'm going to go through this as fast as I can. So Touchpoint Ministry has been really there for some time, but we made it official this year. It actually has board of directors. Terry Mullins is the chairman. I'm the president. Jerry Vick is the treasurer. Amelia is the secretary. And God has been good to us. And this church decided to help us. That's when we decided that we needed to make it very official what we need to do. So in 1901, actually 1902, the first missionaries to my home area arrived. This is the place I arrived. It was in August, and they established a mission station. And there were 3 young men, William Hutchins, Arthur Chilson, and Edgar Hall. One of them came from Iowa. This is Edgar Hall teaching my people, 1903. And this is at Kaimosi. Then they established a dispensary. This is made of grass, and this is mud. That's what dispensary established in 1903. That's how they arrived. So our people received them. My grandmother came to know Christ, and my father then came in. My grandfather was a chief. He had many wives, 2 villages. I don't know all my cousins. Talk about Thanksgiving. You need about 7 bulls to make it. But here we are. That's why I had to go too far away to marry a wife, because I didn't know I was going to marry a sister or something like that. But now, let's go back to where we are. Let's go back to where. Let's stay there. Stay right here. Okay, so I have only 15 minutes. We need to keep going. So then, so that's so 2001. This is the same place these missionaries came. We moved there to teach with my wife in 1996. We were teaching there. We're minding our own business. 2001, some 2 people arrived in this school, Dan and Sarah Bin. They heard the school singing. They had never been there. They followed the singing. They came to the service where we were singing. We ministered in that area, finished the service, and they left. They came another day. They came another day. And then finally they introduced themselves. They come from Iowa, Gowan, where one of these young men came from. After fellowshipping with them for some time, we got to know them a little bit. No, I won't go into details. Then Dan asked, would you be willing to come to Iowa and share with us the gospel? I said, no. So anyway, God worked on our hearts. And against all advice from my employer, we traveled to Iowa. Exactly 100 years. We arrived in Gowan, where the first missionary from our home area came from. So we were there. And then we decided to go back home and bring the whole tribe. So here's the whole tribe. GSP 2002. I think you know these guys. We arrived in signs and wonders, I told you. So we didn't know where we were. Whoever received us left us, and he said, now you're on your own. I was the only person driving on the right side of the road. Everybody else was driving the wrong side of the road. But we survived. We survived. So we came here. I think we came here. Pastor Stewart preached. I told my wife we are home. And we never came forward to be accepted in the church. We just thought we had arrived. Until somebody asked us, are you members? We said, what do you mean? We are members. He said, you need to go forward. So we did. Anyway, so then this thing started falling from the sky. We'd never seen it before. I was on my way to Greenville. I called my friend, and it was ice. He said, go back home. I said, I can't. I am headed to Greenville. and this thing is not wiping from my windscreen. He said, what kind of rain is this? So anyway, we came back home, and the light went off for I don't know how long. And everybody left the apartment. We said, what's happening to people? The guy told me, you find out at night. I did find out at night. There was no power. It was cold. We were on our own. I said, God, you have to do something for us. So we bundled all of us in one room, and we prayed, God, bring power. And God brought power at 2 o'clock. All the other places didn't have power. So anyway, I found out a man called Terry. I don't know how I found him. And now he was in trouble. Everything I needed, Terry. Do you have relatives? Yes. What's his name? Terry Mullins. Schools, universities, wherever. I wrote his name and other names everywhere. Then, until Spartanburg Herod heard about us, we had come in signs and wonders. And they made a whole presentation about us. I didn't know what God was doing, but he was up to something. So that's Spartanburg Gerald making something out of us. So, I say this. Out of this, God was working something. This is where, even from the beginning, God has something in our hearts. This is actually my home area. This is my mother's house down there, and this is Sunrise in my home area. Our ministry has to do with 3 main things: evangelism, training, and compassion. We do high school camps, local churches, education, Miracle Hill, dinner for international students here, and we also try to minister to Sherman. Our main target is young people, because we know they have questions that they cannot deal with. So in the U.S., first of all, let me read this, Luke 19:13. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said unto them, occupy till I come. Bloom where you have been planted. Wherever God has put you, bloom. There are different platforms that we may have, but wherever God has put you, bloom. Matthew 9:36. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. So we do meet people at the point of their need, so that we may point them to Christ. So in the U.S., of course, we are very part of our local church here. We also do the Swahili church. I do Miracle Hill Friday services, 8 o'clock. And then after that, I adjust the residence at 8:30. We also have dinner for international students who cannot travel back home. Amelia makes dinner for the students at our school and others who are from China, from India. And she will make dinner for them. So they can't go home for Thanksgiving, they can't go for Christmas, and she invites them at the house. We have had Iranians, Chinese, Malaysians, all kind of nationalities that come there. And that's just a way for us to touch their lives. And then we have prayer meeting at Sherman. So this is Miracle Hill. I've done this since 2007. I go there on Friday at 8. I preach the men. And then at 8:30, everybody's invited where the clinic is, and I will adjust them. Some of them have been able to come here. You've ministered to them. Some of them, I met them at the stores, and God has been able to reach out to them. I have that platform that God has given me grace. And sometimes Miss Susan makes me cookies to take to them Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I take them there. So it's been a blessing to be able to be part of Miracle Hill. Now, when I went there, I had an attitude. I said, these guys are lazy men. They're messed up in drugs, and they're sorry people staying here. But after I finished preaching, a young man came to talk to me, and I asked him, how did you get here? And he gave me a story. It really hit me. Not everybody who is there is a drug addict. Not everybody who is there has some other things. Some people are there genuinely because business failed. They lost their house, and they're there. So, we'll go past that. This is Swahili Church, Amber Baptist Church. This is, we moved to First Baptist, where we are now being. Dan and Anna have been a blessing to our church. They are just as involved as we are. And Harry drives every Sunday from Clemson to come and play the piano. Daniel and Anna had the youth that have done well, and the church here has been a blessing to us. When we need the bus, they're able to give us. And the way our young people are more than the older people. And this is the generation we have to reach before anybody else reaches to them. So thank God for what they're doing. Here they are in the park with the Swahili speaking young people. This is the dinner we have had. And as I told you, we have had Chinese.